We are way overdue for an update, so we're going to roll this thing out and we're going to just kind of do a review of what's been done since the last video. Alright, so an update. Let's start with the body. I have stated before, I believe, that I'm going to reshoot the hood and the trunk lid. So I did a little sample wet sanding here and decided that, in fact, that's what I want to do. But the rest of the body I'm happy with, so I'm going to roll with it. Again, just to say, this is going to be a daily driver, so it's not perfect, but I think it looks pretty good. Have a lot of the trim put on, roof rail trim, emblems. Haven't touched the trunk trim or anything like that because I'm going to repaint it. Same with the hood. No trim, grills in there. I didn't super detail the grill, because of the simple fact that it's going to be a daily driver and it's not too bad. I just kind of want everything to match the rest of the car, so started putting the antenna in there. Glass is all in. Was not fun, but I got it done. All the windows go up and down nicely. Lubricated all the regulators. I'll probably have to drop those regulators just to put the cat whiskers in, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. That's next. Put those cat whiskers in, then the final adjustment on the glass. I'm going to the hood. I did little stuff here and there as I had time. Just threw the master cylinder on there, brake lines. Nothing is finalized. Still have to put the calipers on and do fluid, all that stuff, but it's all in place. Put the transmission in. It's been rebuilt. I rebuilt that. Just did a kind of a freshen up on it because I believe it had been built at one time already, so I didn't go too deep with it other than just new clutches and bands. Wiper motor, I rebuilt that. The wiring harness on that was for a AC car, since that's what this used to be, so rebuilt that wiring harness and made it for a non-AC car. Engine parts, just kind of have stuff in the area that it belongs in, so this is all engine stuff in here. Interior. So with the interior, I put POR 15 down on the floor, not because it was rusty, but I wanted to give it a clean, even surface for the sound deadener to adhere to. And I ended up going with the Thermaltech Cool It stuff. I think it's all the same, Dynamat, this stuff. But you can see some of the POR 15 here. That stuff's amazing. And then the Cool It just really sticks to that stuff. So that's all down. Someone on the forum said that the carpet on that sound deadener is really slippery, and that's true. So I'm gonna pull the carpet back out and spray some adhesive down just to kind of keep this carpet from moving around. As you can see, kind of going nuts with the sound deadener. This is some real thin stuff that I've been gluing in some of the areas, and it'll go on the back of the panels there. I'd like to go into this dash, see if you can see where I have the inside of this dash frame insulated with sound deadener. Under here, I got the jute there. And up under the frame, I have sound deadener. Yeah, be careful with that because of grounding, so anything that bolts to it, you need to make sure that gets grounded properly. I also ran an auxiliary ground from the dash frame to the frame of the car, so just a little extra insurance, because I think typically they just ground through here and then whatever bolts the thing to the body underneath the windshield. But and then this dash pad came out of a black car, so I dyed that. The browns, there's not too many browns available for the vinyl paint anymore. I remember back in the 90s you could find different colors, but there were only a couple I could find. But I'm happy with that one. The cluster is not bolted in, so that still needs to be done. We'll probably do a video on that. Steering column is in, all bolted down, so that's all good. Still need to detail the steering wheel. What else on the inside here? Wait until last to do the door panels. Another thing I wanted to point out are these insulation clips that hold the firewall fiberglass insulation to the inside of the car. These things are always, I don't know if you ever experienced them, but you try to push them in and they bend. It's just a nightmare to get these things in. So a friend of mine came up with this tool, ingenious invention. You just took a screwdriver and he ground it down, and you put it inside the insulation clip, and it supports the tip of it while you're jamming it through the firewall. And it also bottoms out, the shoulder piece bottoms out on the handle of the screwdriver, so that gives it full support while you're jamming it through. So something you might want to try if you're ever doing firewall insulation. For the interior, I got these speaker kick panels. So these are given to me by a friend. I'm going to go through these and we'll do a video on that. So that's that. Door molding. Alright, so in the trunk, I wanted to show here, up under the panel, I've got some stereo gear. Music's important to me, so having good tunes is a priority. I've got an amp up under there, which is mounted to a metal plate that I made. It's all grounded. I've got power running to it here. This is 12 volts off the battery, and then I've also got a lead extended into the console for a cigarette lighter in there, which is usually not hooked up in the console cars for some reason. And I have power in the console as well for remote trunk button. And again, sound deadening insulation up in here. Speakers are insulated. So that's some stuff that I think is cool. That's about it for the trunk. Yeah, nothing fancy other than the back of this here is going to be painted again. So like I said, no trim or anything on it, but I had missed some caulking areas there, so that I'll get paint over it. So hopefully I should tie off this paint real soon. I should make it a priority and get it done. But that's the update.